We're Chipsters. Welcome back to EPL eKasi, the home of Chipsters. It's game week 24, where last week's heroes become this week's problems. Tables are tightening, patience is finished, and one bad captain pick can undo an entire season. If you're here for banter, the fantasy pain, and the smart moves before the deadline, then you are in the right place. Let's get into the game week 24 recap.
Now, game week 24 just didn't happen, it told stories. Let's unpack the gossip on the pitch. So we've got the Leeds and Arsenal game, which was a total showdown, by the way. First up, Arsenal dominated. Leeds looked like they came to see a tea party. Arsenal came with their war paint, 4 goals, no mercy, and now everyone's wondering if Arsenal even lost a game this season. Like, the internet went nuts as Gunners flexed with a statement, quoted by Reuters. Right? And then the Liverpool and Newcastle game, Reds reignite. Liverpool then finally wakes up after a mini slurp. They battered Newcastle 4-1 at Anfield, and suddenly the boys were smiling again. And Corp was singing, the FPL points flowed, and the rest of the league said, we see you now. Yeah. And then the Wolves and Bournemouth game, which was the bottom club Blues. There we had Bournemouth going to Wolves and saying, be respectful, with the 2-0 job done. And Wolves at the bottom still look lost, and Bournemouth are laughing all the way to mid-table. Like, those results had people roasting Wolves harder than a Sunday bra meat. But I think a bonus that we really need to mention is Everton stole a point late against Brighton, which was like a classic Moyos chaos. Beto with the late drama type of vibes. So game week 24 was drama, redemption, and downright embarrassment in all one binge watch session. If you lived through this week in your fantasy leagues, congrats. If you didn't, you are probably rethinking your life choices.
Top fantasy club for game week 24. Chipsters, if your squad didn't show up like this, it's okay. Fantasy football is pain and blesses different people at different times. That's what's everywhere in the Liverpool 4-1 comeback versus Newcastle. He backed 12 points. So picking up a goal and linking up with the attack before EKasi went mad. He was the midfield conductor while Newcastle looked pretty much confused. Bruno Fernandes with 10 points, which served exactly what the doctor ordered. Key contributions in United's 3-2 win versus Fulham, proving that even when people sleep on him, he gets the job done. I did say you could buy him for this game week and probably also captain him. So if you did, you would have bagged a solid 20 points for this week. Then Chao Petro with 10 points came off the bench and turned Chelsea's 3-2 comeback over West Ham from a meme into a masterclass. Scored and set up the winner. If you benched him, you hope you used that bench boost chip. And then EKasi with 26 points because he got the captain armband. And basically, Newcastle got lit up at Anfield. He scored twice in 2 minutes to completely flip a 1-0 game into a 4-1 rout. Captaincy bonanza, I mean, that's how you cash in, right? And then Kelleher and Gibbs White bench boost worked like a charm on them. Kelleher kept a clean sheet, made saves that were more clutch than my last transfer choice. And Gibbs White popped bonus points like a TikTok trend. That bench didn't just score, it scored big. So it really rounds up into 126 points in total by Krishav from India. Not a good week, a statement week. So if your squad didn't eat, don't worry. Next week has its own little course. This team of the week came with new faces and zero respect for reputations. At the back, Hinildu dropped 11, Ballard with 9, and Jara said, I'm not here to participate with 14 points. Defense putting up numbers like attackers. Sutherland, we see you. Heavy statement. Midfield was pure Kasi excellence. Maduke cooking a 14, Casemiro rolling back the years with 13, and Scott quietly collecting another 13 while big names watched from the bench. Up top, Solanke did what Solanke does. 12 points. Business as usual. Added up all together, you get 132 points. Not a team, a warning. Right, Chipsters. Now we're moving over to Player of the Week, which is Noni Madueke. Against Leeds, he assisted, scored, and basically said, "Don't sleep on me." Arsenal's Saka is still touched to go, so Madueke's minutes are rising. Dribbles, shots, set-piece threat, all the FPL goodies. Should you buy? Hell yes, as a differential or secondary attacker. He can haul if he starts, especially with Arsenal's favourable fixtures ahead. Short term, we're looking at green arrows with this guy. Long term, all depends if Saka returns, but right now, he's very hot property. Right? Time to look at the league table we actually care about. Your awesome EPL eKasi Fantasy League. While the real Premier League has Arsenal cruising at the top and Liverpool, City, Villa all fighting for spots, our eKasi League is special, but there was no much movement at the top this week again. That's right, not a single manager at the top climbed or fell. It's like everyone hit the brakes at the same time. But if you look closely, you can see Breaking Badly FC had the highest points this week with 80 points. But even that wasn't enough to break the status quo. This just proves that consistency over hype is the way. But also, sometimes we just need a chaotic week to spice things up. Or chances are we more or less have the same players in our teams. Hence, not much movement is seen. So remember, this isn't just bragging rights. We are still fighting for that cash prize, the silverware, and that football jersey of our choice. So managers, let's not get comfortable. I mean, Mike cannot be cruising for weeks till no end. Molemo can't also be holding that number 2 spot forever at Silas at number 3. Something needs to give. But nonetheless, I guess once we've seen this table, everyone is calm now, right? Good, because Gameweek 25 is right around the corner. Next up is tips on betting and EPL Gameweek 25. So Gameweek 25, looking at the fixtures, looks like it's all about brains and not emotions. So selling, I think let's drop rotational risks and dead weight. Like Haaland, guys, do we really still need him? If a player is giving you hope instead of points, sure, make the right choice. Buying, I still say Bruno, I still say Enzo, and Gibbs White is also someone who's quite low ownership but has a high paying for rivals. Captains, I still sing the same song, Bruno. And then Chips, I think we will do the same thing. I mean, we triple captain if you are confident, and bench boost only if your bench is actually a bench that plays. And before you place your bets, please use the code on the screen. This week it is by me. So let's see if we can make any Shankuras, money, Zaga, Snoko. Now, Chipsters, let's lock in. Game week 25 waits for Nubori. Good luck! And that's it for Game week 24, Chipsters. If you're new here, don't just watch and vanish. Check out the previous episodes for Game Week recaps, fantasy madness, and league drama you definitely missed out on. Like, subscribe, and share with